Hello there, welcome back to my channel where today I grabbed the Mint to Be palette from ColourPop. I have not used this palette in quite a while. This is going to be part of my anniversary series because this eyeshadow look was fully inspired by a look that I did last March, and I'll put a picture of that up so that you can see my inspiration picture. I didn't try to exactly copy what I did before. What I did was I used it as an inspiration to then play into what my style and preferences and pigmentation levels are like now, which is obviously brighter and bolder than what I did a year ago. It's the whole point of the anniversary series to see where I started and where I am now. So if you'd like to see how I did this eyeshadow look using the Mint to Be palette from ColourPop, don't go anywhere. And if you're new to this channel, hello and welcome. My name is Rachel. I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom who loves to play with colorful eyeshadow. You probably hear my baby on the monitor. She just woke up because it's like 6:30 in the morning. So I usually get my looks done early morning before anybody needs me. I just love to play with colorful eyeshadow. I don't know much about other kinds of makeup, so if you want somebody who can tell you everything about what's happening in the industry, that's not me. But if you like colorful eyeshadow, especially tutorials, rankings, declutters, palette collections, YouTuber tags, anything like that, I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing. I try to upload about 3 videos a week, and you can also find me on Instagram at Shimmers and Silver. Now, without talking any more, let's start this eyeshadow look. Okay, as I always do, I'm going to start off by priming my eyes. Today, because I'm just using ColourPop and I don't have many creasing issues with that brand, I'm just going to use the NYX primer in the shade White. This is not my preferred primer, but it's what I started off with, so I still have a decent amount. And so if I'm using ColourPop, where I don't have much creasing issues with my hooded eyes, then I just use this primer. I'm going to start by taking a relatively fluffy brush and dipping into the shade Ice Cold. There's a lot of kick up in this pan, but it's probably my favorite shade in the palette. It's so pretty. And I'm going to put that in the outer corner. This is such a beautiful shadow. It's such a pretty color. This palette would be a great companion palette for the High Tide from ColourPop. So I'm leaving this in the outer corner. I'm not going to do my wing, I'm just kind of going to round the edges. I think I might be trending more towards that style as I move forward. And I'm going to carry it about halfway into my crease. Today, as you can see, I have a different filming setup. I'm actually in my closet because my husband has been changing his morning routine. He's also getting up quite early and likes to sit downstairs and read his Bible with a cup of coffee. And I love that. I think it's great. It's good for him. But he's not the biggest fan of my eyeshadow. He's supportive and encouraging as far as saying, hey, you know, do what you like. There's no problem with this hobby. But he actually prefers me without eyeshadow. And so he'll sit there making comments or making faces, or because I know he doesn't really like, you know, maybe the colors I'm using that day or something, I feel awkward. I feel self-conscious. And I don't want to do that. Not to mention, I would like to do a few more videos like this where I talk more as I go through, instead of just being straight up down to business. You know, I want to be a little bit more chatty, and I feel silly chatting to the camera when he's sitting right there and trying to concentrate on his reading. So I thought I would try to find a different spot to film. So today is kind of a test to see if the lighting is okay and if the audio is okay and if I manage to not wake up my baby who's sleeping right over there. There are like 2 doors between us, but that's all. We'll see. Now I'm going to take a smaller and more pinched blending brush and I'm going to dip into the shade Get Fresh. I'm going to use this to just blend out the ice cold color that we put down before. So I'm taking Get Fresh on the tip of my brush and I'm putting it on the edge of this ice cold color and just working them out a little bit. I love this ice cold color. Honestly, I think all of the shadows in this palette are really, really pretty. I find that I don't wear mint a lot. When I do feel minty or in the mint mood, or even if I just want some sort of a mint color as a companion, or a feature in a different combination of colors, this is a really good quality palette. I do want to take a smudger brush and pull that that darker shade down onto the lower lash line. So I'm just dipping back into Ice Cold and placing it here. Okay, so now I'm trying to figure out which shimmer I want to use. There are 4 shimmers in the palette. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this third shimmer. It's called Mint Tea, and I'm going to put it on my finger because ColourPop shimmers love to be applied with the finger. They are always more pigmented and more vibrant and a little bit more metallic. I'm going to put this on the center of my lid and work out towards the other shadows. I'm not going to bring it all the way into the nose though. I mean, if the look was feeling a little bit too teal and not so minty, this will fix that. Look at this. This is a really beautiful mint green shade. So good. Following that, I think that I'm going to take the shade Mojito Mama. This time I'm going to use my pinky because I'm using it on a smaller space. And again, I don't really want to use a brush. I know it's going to apply better with my finger. So I'm just dipping into Mojito Mama, and I'm going to use that right here at my inner corner and blend it into the shimmer that we just placed down. Obviously, this is not precision work. If it were, I'd be using a brush. I probably would have cut my crease, but my crease honestly isn't even dark enough to warrant cutting. So I'm just using my finger and placing down the color, and it'll blend in really nicely with the mint green shimmer that we just used before. And now to finish off the lower lash line, I'm taking a very small pencil brush. I'm going to dip back into Mojito Mama, and I'm just going to put this as an inner corner highlight and drag it down onto the lower part of the lash line. Or rather, the inner part of the lower lash line. I love having a bright inner corner highlight. I think it's so flattering and eye-catching. I just love it. And this is a really nice one. You know, I haven't used this palette in a while. I'm glad that I dipped back into it today. Okay, so now it's time for the waterline, and I can't really decide between these two from ColourPop. This is Big Splash, I think from their Cabana Club collection, and this I believe is called Canopy. It's all worn off. This is from the Lush Life collection. I really love both of these. I use them both quite frequently because I love to have a bright, light-colored waterline. And I think I'm going to use both of them today. I think I'm going to use both of them. So I'm going to start with wait, is it Canopy or is it a Glow? Okay. This one is called a Glow from ColourPop, not Canopy. Canopy's a dark green. I'm going to start with a Glow, so just a light green eyeliner, and I'm going to put that in the inner corner above this light green shimmer, because they're going to work nicely together. And then I'll take Big Splash and put that on the outer part of the waterline. I like to have a two-tone waterline. It's very interesting. Alright, now I do have a little bit of fallout, so I'm just going to go off camera, clean that up with some concealer, and finish up the look, and then I'll be back to show you the end. Alright, here's the finished look. I put on some black eyeliner. I did these 3 little dots at the very edge of my wing because you might think it was intentional, but it wasn't. I accidentally touched the eyeshadow with the liner tip, and I'm like, no! So I decided to make a little trio and pretend like it was on purpose. Yeah, shh. My secret, don't tell anyone. Anyway, here you go. I actually really like this look. I think it turned out very nice. I think it's been a lot of fun to dip back into this palette because I really haven't used it in quite a while, but it is still great ColourPop quality. It's exactly what I remember, and some of these shadows are like yummy. They're so lovely. So I hope you enjoyed this look. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember that you can like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and you can find me on Instagram at Shimmers and Silver. And until we see each other again, I do hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!